As we reach the concluding session of the conference on IKS Studies through Colonial Encounters jointly organized by Indica and the IKS Division Ministry of Education, I'd like to express our deepest gratitude to the IKS Division Ministry of Education and their entire team. I would like to personally thank Gantimurthy Garu and the entire team, including Shriram, Megha, Sandeep, Pankaj, Soni, the security team, the housekeeping staff, everybody who have helped ensure that these 2 days concluded well and that intellectually at least it has been a success. We look forward to an enriching collaboration, a long-term collaboration in service of IKS with the IKS Division Ministry of Education. We conclude this evening by Kulapati Daru's talk that looks at how Indian knowledge systems can reframe the writing of modern Indian history. I invite Dr. Nagaraj Paturi Garu to speak on modern Indian history of and from IKS Studies, proposal and perspectives. Dr. Nagaraj Paturi Garu.
All good things and happy things have to come to an end, and all ends are painful. Every time we see all our participants who become family members feeling the pain of separation at the end of the whole program. And we share that. We too have. But that pain also is combined with the pleasure of the success of the program. I have come here to share that pleasure of success on behalf of all of you. Actually, it is not my pleasure. It is your pleasure that I am sharing here. And it is not the feeling of success on my part. It is your feeling of success on your part that I came here to share back with all of you. These rituals, like the ending ritual, concluding ritual, vote of thanks in events, have their ritual names like vote of thanks, conclusion, summary. But our founder Harikiran Garu once suggested to remove those ritual names like vote of thanks, conclusion, summary. That is why I gave the title. I was asked to give some title to this ritual item, and the title comes because of that. And the title articulates actually what I mentioned in the beginning. All events are garlands. They end where they begin. This event also is ending where it began. I began with saying in my welcome address that this particular theme, this particular title of this conference was chosen to be part of a contemporary academic discipline called history. I keep suggesting to all youngsters, first of all, locate the academic discipline to which your research or your research paper, your research publication belongs. We always talk about multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary research, but there cannot be any interdisciplinary research that hangs in air. Every interdisciplinary research, every multidisciplinary research has a focus in either one of the existing academic disciplines or a new academic discipline that we are proposing. That gives you a correct guideline to the methodology that you need to follow in preparing the paper. Otherwise, it will be all over the place. For example, if you are working on folklore like Shashwati ji was doing, if I don't tell that this is a history paper, she would be doing only folklore the way she does any other folklore paper. If it is an art related paper, it can be just an art related, just art discussion happening in any art area also. So we need to have a focus area, focus direction. That is why I have been telling people that this is a history conference. And we are collaborating with IKS division. Then for the youngsters, the question would be, so this is a history conference and an IKS division is collaborating and Indica is calling it an IKS conference. So he is history IKS. I was telling Rabi Ranjan Singh ji, who comes from history area, that history is not IKS. Because we are focusing on history here in this conference, please don't be under the impression that history is IKS. For anything to be IKS, any area, academic area to be IKS, it has to be an Indian knowledge system. History is a global knowledge system, an international knowledge system. For example, can physics be IKS? Physics is an international academic discipline. Can chemistry be IKS? Can zoology be IKS? In the same way, history cannot be IKS. But if there is a different way of doing zoology, an Indian, traditional Indian way or insider Indian way or Indian cultural way of doing zoology, then that zoology becomes Indian knowledge system. For example, there is a way of doing history, there is a way of studying the past, what history does. Say for example in the form of itihasa or in the form of Purana, then that way of doing history or that way of looking at the past, that is Indian knowledge system. So itihasa can be IKS, Purana can be IKS, itihasa way of looking at the past can be IKS, Purana way of looking at the past can be IKS, but history way of looking at the past is not IKS at all. So this conference, when we say is contributing to history, we are not saying by contributing to history it is contributing to IKS. No. But the conference is focusing on the history of IKS. So by doing history it is not contributing to IKS. By doing history of IKS it is contributing to IKS. Am I clear? Okay. When you go back home, when you tell yourself, when you tell others, you have to have that clarity. We are contributing to IKS by doing a history of IKS. Okay, what is IKS? IKS is Shulba Sutras, Kalpa Sutras, Siksha, all the Vedangas, all our Loka, folk, Gramina, Janapada knowledge systems, all are IKS. All the Vanavasi knowledge systems, they are also IKS. So if I have to give the history of IKS, I have to go back to, as always our people do, whenever research papers are asked for by Indian students. Now luckily, fortunately, that has gradually faded out. But earlier the tradition used to be, you are supposed to start every research paper either with primitive man or Vedas. Whatever you ask for. Your topic is, say for example, radio waves. The paper starts with, in the Vedic times, what is this radio waves and in the Vedic times? But they connect it somehow. Or radio waves, topic is radio waves. It starts with primitive man was communicating to the other primitive people. Why? Why should there be primitive man? So, history of IKS also, if we are starting with Vedas, Vedic times, usually a big introduction about how many Vedas are there, how many Upanishads, how many Vedangas, gradually through chiseling, that has gone. People are directly landing into their topic. All the papers in the present conference had that beauty. They landed into the topic directly. They did not give all those long introductions. That is why in our call for papers, we clarified between IKS and IKS studies. Vedangas are IKS, but contemporary study of Vedangas is IKS studies. You understand the difference? When we say IKS studies is a contemporary discipline. IKS studies is a study of IKS which is millennia old, centuries old. IKS is already there. But if you are studying that for contemporary times with a contemporary objective, with a contemporary application in mind, with a contemporary explanation in mind, then that becomes IKS studies. Okay? Another takeaway from here, when you go out, when you tell yourself, when you tell others, please tell them that this conference was not on IKS, it was on IKS studies. It's not on IKS, it's on IKS studies. IKS studies is new, it's happening now. IKS studies has started in the recent times, in modern times. So the question that we were raising was, when did this IKS studies start? IKS studies, when IKS studies start? The answer that can come usually, if you go to any engineering college today, any general college today, the answer would be 2024, 2020, 2022, because the letter from UGC came to that college in that year. Letter from AICTE came to that college in that year, asking them to include IKS in their courses. हाँ, ये तो कोई नई चीज़ आ रहा है, IKS बोल के एक लेटर भी आया था, हमारा प्रिंसिपल भी बता रहे थे कि IKS को इंक्लूड करना है. तो ये IKS चीज़ तो गए साल में स्टार्ट हुआ है, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So we wanted to remove that impression also. IKS division started by Government of India under Ministry of Education definitely contributed to a very big traction for IKS and IKS studies, absolutely, for the spread of that to every nook and corner of this country. True, but that has a background. Before the division was started, IKS studies was already happening in different universities, institutes and associations in the country. But is that all? Did that start only with those universities like the University of MIT ADT University, where myself and Dr. Sai Susarla started a School of Vedic Sciences in Pune, in Loni, Kolbor, and many other such things were happening. Was that how IKS studies started? Then if we gradually look back how IKS studies started, we keep remembering things like, do you all remember that there was a fad called Bhagavad Gita in management? There was a buzz, Bhagavad Gita in management, Gita in management, Gita in management, everywhere. Somebody started, people attributed to an IIM Kolkata professor, maybe, but it became a fad those days. And there were many other such things happening in IKS studies. And once this movement started getting traction, people started identifying that there was a Freudian laboratory established in Calcutta University. during the time of Freud himself. A professor in correspondence with Freud established it in Kolkata University there. And there were publications on Indian sociology. There were publications on Indian psychology way back in the beginning of 20th century. Books were coming out. Publications were happening. Now we are all realizing that this was all happening. People were doing IKS studies much earlier than we would imagine that to have started. So with that, going back into when probably IKS studies started, we got to this topic of this conference. How IKS studies started. Professor Bharat Gupta was talking about Arya Samaj, how it was a problem for Hinduism and all that. But we have to also give the credit to Arya Samaj for founder of Arya Samaj, Swami Dayananda Saraswati, for writing the book called Rigvedadi Bhashya Bhumika, in which he talks about astronomy in Veda mantras, political ideas, political thought ideas in Veda mantras, sociological ideas in Veda mantras, and he gave a message to all the followers of Arya Samaj that all Satya Vidyas, all true knowledge systems exist in Vedas. As you all know, all the followers of Arya Samaj need not necessarily be great scholars. Even a just commoner Arya Samaji follower can be there. Not at all academically learned, but even such common Arya Samaj followers repeat this sentence that all Satya Vidyas exist in Vedas. All true knowledge systems exist in Vedas. So we have to give that credit to Swami Dayananda Saraswati to have sown the seeds even in commoners, followers of Arya Samaj, that knowledge systems exist in Vedas. My own background also into Indian knowledge systems, IKS, started with an organization called Veda Vijnana Vedika, which we were running in Hyderabad way back in the early 80s. That was started by some Arya Samaj activists only, with this belief only that all Satya Vidyas exist in Vedas. We used to conduct monthly meetings. Physics in Vedas, 1 month. Political science in Vedas in another month. Environmental science in Vedas in another month. One Swami Tattvavidananda, who is now a Swamiji, he took sannyasa. At that time he was a scientist in IDPL. He, in his Purvashrama, gave a talk on biochemistry in Vedas. He was focusing on Sri Sukta. Just taking Sri Sukta as a mantra, he talked about biochemistry in Vedas. We started that way. So we have to give credit to these what we call Reformation leaders also, the credit to have focused on knowledge systems in Tagore's own statement, stream of pure reason that does not dry away into the dreary desert sands of dead habit. You have this idea that what Reformation movement considered to be dead habit, superstitions, there is a stream of pure reason that dried away into the dreary desert sands of dead habit this is the epitome, this is the essence of Reformation movement thinking. It was completely different from the rationalist, scienticist or Marxist kind of looking at the tradition. They had a respect for the tradition. Their respect for the tradition included in the belief that there was a stream of pure reason that dried away into the dreary desert sands of dead habit. So while opposing the superstition, while opposing what they considered to be dead habit, they were searching for that stream of pure reason that was search for Indian knowledge systems only. So we have to give that credit to them while being very critical about them. We can be critical. Actually, I myself am very critical. Pranav is sitting here. He can bring from Karapatre Swami, how he countered Swami Dayananda Saraswati. I would also join him in countering Swami Dayananda Saraswati's certain amount of claims from Karapatre Swami's point of view or any other point of view. Personally, I myself, I am an Advaita follower. From a Shankaracharya point of view, from Advaita point of view, I would counter Swami Dayananda Saraswati's Vedantic positions also. Absolutely no doubt about it. But that should not stop any of us to give the credit due to them. Absolutely. Thank you very much. That is very much assuring that I am not going against Karapatre Swamiji by giving the credit due to Arya Samaj or Dayanand Saraswati or Raja Ram Mohan Rai or Ravindranath Tagore or even his own father Devendranath Tagore or any of those Renaissance movement leaders, even the southern leaders of Reformation movement, even the Tamil Nadu leaders or the Karnataka leaders or Andhra leaders of Reformation movement, we have to give the credit to them in starting the Indian knowledge systems. And even those we think were collaborating with the bad project called Indo-European Languages Project or the Linguistics Project, all that also, unless they contributed to the European linguists would not have learned things from Paninian grammar. All the Paninian tools that the Indo-European philologists were adapting. For example, we talk about Grimm's phonetic rule. There is a concept in linguistics called phonetic rule, you know that? And that phonetic rule comes from the morphophonemic changes that were already discussed in Panini. These were all conveyed to them, to the philologists by the Indian scholars only. They were conveying these Indian knowledge systems to them. And they were very proud of communicating that to the European scholars. It's unfortunate that the European scholar does not acknowledge that. That fellow Sasur does not acknowledge that Long and Parole that he brings in was contributed by Indian scholars. But fortunately, some like Bloomfield or Gleason or Robert A. Hall, they at least acknowledged. They even used the original words like Sandhi. Bloomfield uses the word Sandhi, but he adds external Sandhi and internal Sandhi. But these contributions were, at least Bloomfield pays tribute to Panini in the book. He says he is an intellectual monument. So all the acknowledgements to our knowledge systems were happening already. We have to identify this. This, enjoying the lamentation should not be our fashion. Oh, कोई हमको रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं करता है, कोई रिकॉग्नाइज नहीं करता है, बाप रे कोई नहीं रिकॉग्नाइज करता, क्या कितने दिन रोते रहोगे? ये रोना बंद करना है. Lot of acknowledgement also has happened from the European side. Some indirect acknowledgements have also happened. And some acknowledgements we can identify through the works. They were stealing, like Raji Malhotra says, lot of digestion also happened, lot of use of that without acknowledgement also happened. But we have to trace that. That is what we are here for. IKS Studies has to do all that. So from there, we have come to several different stages. We have all our complaints against Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Yes, he deserves. He deserves all the complaints that we have against him. But we have to give him the credit of Swadeshi, making Swadeshi a household movement. And that Swadeshi also has got a lot of IKS aspect, cottage industry aspect. Okay, so because many youngsters are sitting here, I just want to tell you that in this Twitter generation, in this social media generation, in this Facebook generation, we have developed habits of taking extreme positions इफ कोई महात्मा गांधी को गालियां देता है तो गालियां ही देना चाहिए। मोहनदास करमचंद गांधी अगर गलत है तो गलत ही है, उसको कुछ भी क्रेडिट देना नहीं चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं होना है। हम बैलेंस को सीखना है। इससे हमको जब हिस्ट्री ट्रेस करते हैं केस स्टडीज का तो एग्जैक्ट एक्यूरेट पिक्चर आने का संभावना हो सकता है। We can give all the credit due to all these people, and we can give credit to people like those who are known only as modern scientists. Like for example, C.V. Raman was working only in the modern physics side only. But if you go to the autobiographical information about him, he was doing a lot of IKS in his personal life. He was doing the study of Indian music in his acoustic studies. Even Jagadish Chandra Bose, his research material, his experimental autobiographical information has a lot of IKS aspects in it. Subbarao Garu, he started with as an Ayurveda doctor and went as a pharmacist and allopathic medical researcher. We have a very big number of such people who are doing all these things. We have to gradually trace all that. This is the time, now that IKS is gaining such a traction, we have to go into all those details. Coming back to this conference, when we thought of creating such a knowledge, such an amount of, such a perspective, we thought this is going to happen, but completely the opposite happened. Every abstract was a surprise for us. Thank you all for that. Every one of the abstracts that we received were surprised because in the beginning we thought, okay, this generation is talking only about Vedic knowledge as knowledge system. So we are going to get many papers on Vedangas, that, this and all that. But today you saw, including Shashwati ji, there were many papers on folklore. Komal ji also, she was talking about Komal Kothari ji. It was all folklore, folk culture. We did not expect that. So it is such a good news that in the IKS studies circles, people are now so much aware that folklore research also is IKS studies. Personally, I am very happy because my career, university career was all dedicated to folklore, folk culture studies. Now I am so happy that, okay, now I need not go marketing my area that, hey, please do folklore, please do folk culture. People are now aware. And there are talks about, for example, this is also Mayang that Dr. Bodai was talking about, is also Vanavasi thing. There are many Vanavasi knowledge systems that are being talked about. Let us all remember that this Vedic-centric approach to Indian culture is not going to do any good to us. We have to talk about Indian culture to be multi-source. Indian culture, Hindu culture, Indic culture has at least three sources, at least. Vedic, Janapada or local or folk or whatever you call Deshi, whatever you call that, and the Vanavasi, all the three sources. And you have all come up with that. We have a Center for Jurisprudence Studies as part of Indica, and I was mentioning in the call for papers about how India responded to the court system, the dirty system called court system that is introduced into India now. And I thought, okay, I am mentioning, nobody is going to talk about it. But fortunately, we have the distinguished speech by the path-breaking, trend-setting historian, Dr. Meenakshi Jain, on that topic only. It was just a coincidence. We did not think about it. It's just providence. It's just our horoscope. Jyotisha, something happened. Some magic happened. She came and presented that paper. We just wanted her to check if she would be interested, and she came and she presented. And we got our Pranav Kumar Vasishta also talking about law-related, judiciary-related responses, political science-related responses. And our Shivakumar ji attended a round table recently. There he met our Vikramjit Banerjee ji. He was, and also I think Sunny ji who leads our Center for Embodied Knowledge, he also mentioned Vikramjit Banerjee ji. So from different sources within Indica, we were getting the name of Vikramjit Banerjee ji. We contacted him, we got him. Today you saw that. So 3 important talks covered an area which we never expected. That we are going to have so many papers covering that area. So congratulations to all of you. We were insisting in the pre-conference meeting that we are going to insist good quality papers, and usually our expectation is that we keep saying, but we will be getting all biryani type papers. Quality 50%, no quality also 50%, we have to take it as it comes. But surprisingly this time 100% quality. No paper was without quality. Every paper had that research rigor, very good argumentation, very good analysis. And almost every time we used to have a necessity to control the people. We come, stand here, they keep going, we hold their collar, we hold their buttons, we pull their shirt, but no, the person doesn't go. But gradually now a discipline has evolved, and almost every presenter was sticking to the time perfectly. I think you have all done good rehearsals at home for time management. I don't know what you did, but you managed the time very well, except in 1 or 2 cases exceeding only 1 or 2 minutes. Every time management was very good. Slide decks were also beautifully done. Shivakumar ji also was giving standardization to the slides. So that standardization for slides was also getting reflected very well. And without slides also, the talks were well controlled. Rabi Ranjan Sen ji, usually professors like him, when they come onto the stage, they say, no, I will not leave the stage until the bell rings. मेरा क्लास तो 1 hour चलता है, 2 hours चलता है, मुझे 1 hour के बाद बेल रिंग होना है, तभी मैं छोड़ता हूँ. Rabi Ranjan Sen ji, I have seen such a control on time, without slides also. He presented well within time, highly rigorously, and we have very little cute, pretty, sweet youngsters who are first time presenters. Even they did so well. We have been saying this in most of our conferences, that most of our presenters come from non-university background. They come from STEM background. But they are doing very well in social sciences, humanities, vocabulary, rigor and all that. So our Advait is an example for that. Young person coming from STEM background, he was saying that it was his first presentation, but received a standing ovation from all the audience. I don't know whether Dikshita was mentioning about her collaborators, Dr. Vishaka Venkat, Dr. Sandhya Shankar. Dikshita, did you mention? I was not here at that time. Okay, good. So, thank you very much, Dikshita. Your paper was excellent. And please convey our thanks to Dr. Vishaka Venkat, Dr. Sandhya Shankar. From here, I am telling them, madams, both of you, your assistant professors, it is so magnanimous on your part to have sent your research assistant to represent you. Usually, these professors have the habit of showing themselves in the front and making research assistants stand behind, but they have sent this young little small sweet girl who is a research assistant to represent them, and that reflects their contribution, how the quality of your paper reflects the contribution of both these assistant professors. School of Linguistics and Literary Studies, a Department of Languages, Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science. Both are wonderful people. And we got all the distinguished speakers giving excellent presentations. We have very big stalwarts, star figures like Professor Bharat Gupta, Vikramjit Banerjee ji, Meenakshi Jain ji, whom we think of even touching from a distance to be fortunate, but we had them in our middle. You all had an opportunity to interact with such star figures, and we had young star figures like our Pranav, our Kalyan, all these young star figures also gave their special talks. You have seen how, why we chose them. I think you agree with our choice that these two special talk speakers are wonderful speakers. And we have let me just mention, because these are our young colleagues. If I don't mention any of them, that will be unjustified on my part. Our Surabhi Pandey ji, Arjun KV, the young man, our Avik Ganguly ji, Tirthendu Ganguly ji, I mentioned Advait ji already, Shashwati, all were wonderful. And we have another celebrity figure coming as a paper presenter. That is surprising. Swaroop ji. Usually such people expect them to be specially invited as special guests and all that. But she was so humble that she came as a paper presenter. And you have seen how amazing that paper was. How she was contributing a completely new area of art as a knowledge system, art as a rebellion, art as a revolutionary system. And we have to particularly thank Professor Nomesh Bolia of IIT Delhi. Professor Bolia was not well. I don't know whether you know that or not. He was running high fever at that time. But his affection for Indica, his affection for each one of us, his affection towards Shivakumarji was so strong that he made it a point to come here and contribute his talk as a special guest. Professor Ganti Murthy Garu, who is the hero of the entire IKS traction now, we were thinking of asking him to just participate formally, like me, giving a welcome address. But then we thought he has to be asked to give the keynote address because he is the one who is contributing to the entire IKS movement. And you saw how wonderfully he gave the entire keynote address, how well he covered the whole thing. And these are all academic contributions, but organizational contribution is from our three figures. Shivakumarji, please. stand up. The toil, the hard work that Shivakumarji, Dimpleji have contributed behind the success of this conference, actually that touched my heart so much that now I am going to be emotionally expressing. You have to take a lot of rest. I think you need at least 1 week rest for all the long hard work that you have been doing. And we have a secret hero, our Srinivas Garu. To suit my expression, he is already standing behind the screen only. Now you have to come in front of the screen. All activities of Indica, the success of all activities of Indica are because of Srinivas Garu's efficient administration, whether it is an online event or offline event. Sriram Garu, are you here? Please come. Sriram Garu, on behalf of IKS division, he was the parallel to our Srinivas Garu and Sriram Garu. Srinivas Garu from Indica and Sriram Garu from IKS division. Sriram Garu, you have to forgive us if you have troubled you. No, we might have given you a lot of trouble. Thank you very much. Coming from outside Delhi, we pounced on you, took all your help. Thank you so much. Please thank all your colleagues also who helped you. And thank you very much, both of you, Sriram Garu and Srinivas Garu. And do you all know that the way we lived as a family started with a birthday party? Shashwati, she had her birthday on the day she arrived, and she came with a pack of ice creams. And we all celebrated her birthday. Our arrival in Delhi started with the celebration of birthday of Shashwati ji. Rajshri Vasudevanji, are you here? Yeah, you may stand there only. You need not walk all the way down here. But Rajshri Vasudevanji is, her birthday is today, and she celebrated her birthday here instead of celebrating it with her family back home in Chennai. She celebrated it with us. It is her 60 years birthday. So that shows how much they loved our company, how much they felt us as a family, Indica and all of you as family members. So we enjoyed all these aspects of our company also. And AICTE auditorium staff, also we troubled them a lot. Thank you, every one of you. I do not know names of each one of you, how much you contributed. Whenever we had a trouble, we troubled you. We transfer our trouble to you. Thank you very much. All the staff of AICTE auditorium that was given to us, you have helped a lot. And there was a social media campaign also that was conducted, and we have our social media group that contributed to the social media campaign that we carried. Finally, the person behind the success, Sri Harikiran Vadlamani Garu, the founder. Let me share a news with all of you now. When he proposed this conference, he proposed an annual event. It is going to be a recurring annual event. That is his proposal. So from this year, Indica is going to have an annual IKS conference. This is just the first of the series of annual conferences. That is his idea. Harikiran Garu is not just an entrepreneur, businessman. He is highly learned, well-read, and highly creative. Actually, he paints also. He writes about painting. He is interested in music and all that, and has a lot of creativity. Comes up with creative topics. All the creative topics that Indica is known for, source is the incessant creativity of Harikiran Garu. And I call him Title King also. In movies, there are very good title givers for movies. Harikiran Garu enjoyingly says that we have a very commercial director in Telugu called Raghavendra Rao. He says, I am the Raghavendra Rao of Indica. I would give commercially attractive titles to your events, he says. He enjoys doing that. So he has given wonderful titles. He comes up with new topics. So thanks to him. Thanks to all the non-presenter audience that have come from all our friendly organizations, from Rishihood, from IIT Delhi, from Delhi University, from various friendly organizations in Delhi. People have come here. And our own Indica family members also have come here because we have come to their city. For example, our Vipul Kocharji, he looks after our Delhi chapter, Indica's Delhi chapter. We have chapters in the various cities. We have a Delhi chapter. He looks after that. And he has established a meeting place for IKS people here in Delhi. He will share the location, address with you. I do not know where it is, but he is starting a meeting place for all IKS people in Delhi. So you can have your clubs, your associations, your discussion groups, your events, cultural events in that place. Vipul Kocharji is a local for Delhi. Please stand up. They are going to ask you for the place. All of them are going to ask for the place. Okay. Yeah, so please announce the place to all of them. They will all come and meet you. He is from Rajasthan, and coincidentally he arrived here when the Rajasthan paper was going on. He was there yesterday also. He enjoyed that paper on Komal Kothari ji. So I might have forgotten the names of our friends like Professor Sampadananda Mishra, who is a star figure in IKS. He has come not only by himself, he has brought all the team from the university, from his Center for Human Sciences. We have many such friends. If I have forgotten any name, please pardon me for that. Oh yes, you have these guests, Arjun and Akshar, please. Arjun and Akshar, wonderful. Thank you. All the way you traveled from your states for just attending this conference. Thank you so much. So we have such guests also, and we have many such scholars who have taken the pains to come and attend this conference all the way from long distances. And we have our Dr. Koinrod Elst. He sprung a surprise to us. We did not know. He himself probably did not know that he was going to come. But all of a sudden, from divine worlds, he landed in this place. So we have many such wonderful presences. Divine, yeah, ma'am. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, I might have forgotten many such names here. Please, if I missed any name to be mentioned here, please excuse me. But I thank you everyone by name. Thank you very much. With a Shanti mantra. Yes, yes. The most important part of the event is presenting gifts to the presenters. The two books that were presented to all the celebrities, distinguished guests, will be presented to the speakers, presenters also, paper presenters. And there will be like at the end of any movie, we are going to have a group photo. All movies have to end with a group photo. So this movie is also going to end with a group photo.
Perhaps in the sequence of your presentation, I would request the presenters to just come one by one, and we will present the gifts, and the individual pictures could be taken.
Rabi Ranjan Sen ji, Surabhi Pandey ji, Swarup Sampat Rawal ji, Arjun. Arjun, I don't say ji, you are a child, you are a baby. So, Rashri Vasudevan ji. Oh, okay. Yeah, Abhik Ganguly ji. Yeah. Only presenters.
Yes, sir. This is for Abhiji. Swarupji, Arjun, Pranav. Oh, Pranavji ko already we have. Abhik is not here. Tirtha, Advait, Dikshita, Komalji, Shashwati. Please come. Come, Arjun.
Such a trouble. No, I should have come. No. Thank you so much. My privilege. You took all the trouble. No. Come here. But you be here, birthday girl. Birthday girl को और एक बुके दे. वही मैं सोच रही हूँ, एक और बुके देंगे. Be here only please. हाँ, we take a picture. But stay around. We take a good. On the stage. Yeah, we take a good picture. Advait. Got to get a job very soon. Yeah. Dikshita. पवन जी प्लीज आइए. अभी आइए. पवन.
arising